What is going on, team? Welcome to today's video. Isolation day 764. What a year this week has been, eh? I've been doing a bit of research and I have figured out actually over this week that you are smart if you can say these 4 words without getting tongue twisted. Say it to your partner. It's actually pretty cool. Gotcha. Did anyone else see it in the news recently? There was a guy that committed a crime in a multi-story car park. Yep, he was wrong on so many levels. Anyway, is anyone else missing good coffee? Here we go. What? Before we get into this video, do any of you guys have any good startup coffee machines? £500 or below? You know, like ones that grind the beans, you can do the frothing, you feel like a proper barista. I feel like I want to take this time during this quarantine period to really be good at making my own coffee, so then I save £3 a cup when I go out and I can just make it at home and be like, mine is better than yours. Watch out, Good Dude's Coffee. Craig's Crap Coffee, coming soon. But then once I get good at it, I sent this to actually Matt the other day, I said, once I get good at making coffee, I can judge it. I can be like, he's the fittest on earth, but does he make a good brew? All right, I'm just gonna jump straight into this vlog. A lot of sporting events are still being cancelled as we go along. The CrossFit Games 2020, will it be cancelled? It's the biggest event within the CrossFit season. It's the one that I get super excited for because it's just so much fun. But should be starting on July the 29th. From now, that is 4 months away. And actually being realistic about it, team, you know, we've been in this quarantine period now for just a couple of weeks, but obviously this pandemic has been building up over the last couple of months. I honestly don't see the world having free travel, thousands of people meeting up, a load of the top level athletes meeting up in just 4 months time. About a week ago, I really need to work on my dance moves. A lot of the big athletes on TikTok have been.
Now lean with it, rock with it. Baby, come give me some.
I didn't know so many good athletes were just good at dancing. On a recent podcast with Talking Elite Fitness a week ago, they got to sit down with Dave Castro and talk about the season. Now listen to the tone in Dave's voice and how he talks around it. To me, he doesn't sound confident that the games are going to happen. Here's the short insert.
We talked about this at the top, the way that the current coronavirus situation has affected baseball, hockey, basketball. The Olympics have now postponed. Are you guys, what if any contingency plans are you looking at right now?
We're looking at a lot of contingency plans. Obviously, one big one being not doing them.
Right.
That's looking more and more likely to happen. There's delaying it. There's delaying it a year, just skipping the year. There's also talk about doing it online. So we're looking at all options. The online option sounds intriguing, interesting. It's kind of who we are in some degree. Like foundationally, we start online. What if it was to end online and everyone was able to play even?
Yeah.
So, and not over the course of 5 weekends, but maybe over the course of a weekend, just like the games. That it needs to be fleshed out, but these are some of the things we're looking at and talking about. But I also think there's a lot of value in just holding tight for a little bit longer and watching how this all plays out. Was the Olympics premature in making their decision? Once the country started saying they're not going to send their athletes, they kind of had no choice.
Yeah, they had their
the
hand
athletes forced that hand, that decision.
Do you feel like the games, at least, the Olympics are an entirely different scope and
The first big contingency plan with the CrossFit Games is not doing them, which would suck. But then again, the safety of athletes and spectators is the most important thing. We do CrossFit because we want to be healthy and fit and get at least 2 injuries a year. Get him. Obviously, some parts of it are out of their control in terms of cancelling it. Will the city of Madison allow it? Will the state of Wisconsin allow the gatherings to even happen? There'd be no Fittest on Earth documentary. Like 2018. Don't give us another 2018. But I'm sure we'd all be fine, Like, it's not the end of the world. The contingency plan number 2 of what he talks about is an online competition over a weekend rather than the 5 weeks. Kind of like open style, but I honestly believe, in my personal opinion, I'm going to give a lot of my opinion on this vlog today, is that an online competition, yes, for the Open is great if you want to qualify for the CrossFit Games, but if you want to be the fittest on earth and you want to be the champion, I honestly don't think you can crown someone through the online process. There's too much variance, there's too much people being comfortable in their own gym, there's too much cheating. the drug testing, the fact that some athletes will be able to go to affiliates, some athletes won't. I think it's a great idea. I just don't think it's a viable one in terms of if you want to crown the fittest on earth. If it's just for fun, fine. But when you're giving out $300,000 and all of that exposure, brand making, the name of fittest on earth is going to someone for winning an online competition, I don't think that's a good thing. Now, obviously, over the last couple of days, if you haven't seen it, the Olympics have been moved. They were supposed to be happening this summer around the time of the games, but have been moved to Friday, the 23rd of July, 2021. They've been postponed a whole year. And then if we're just looking at other competitions, the European Championships has been postponed to summer 2021. The World Athletics Championships that was meant to take place in August has now been postponed until 2022. And then obviously one of the major sporting things, the football season, especially here in the UK, all the 20 Premier League clubs met via video and accepted that there is no hope of a professional game being played immediately after the current 30th of April deadline. Now that is a couple of months before the CrossFit Games is supposed to happen, but especially with an event like the CrossFit Games, it takes months of planning. You can't get a week out and then be like, yep, we're going to do it. So they did pose the question to Dave and said, when will we know?
Do you feel like the games, at least, the Olympics are an entirely different scope and logistics issue. Do you feel like the games at least have a little bit more time bought to kind of weigh and see how things play out compared to the Olympics in that regard?
I do,
Yeah.
for sure. We're so much smaller, so many more, less moving parts. So we do have the luxury of time, a little more than they do.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's a particular there's like a date or a region in the calendar that you have circled as like we kind of want to have an idea by this point, or like this is when we got to pull the chute by this time?
It's approaching quickly, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Could you do it without fans?
Yes, that would be a lot of fun, actually.
Why do you say that?
I mean, just well, here's interestingly on that. I mean, somebody should be doing some sort of sport right now without fans. And I hope the UFC, I hope Dana White, I hope they do this Khabib fight, Ferguson. Whoever cracks this and starts doing a sport without fans, their numbers are gonna go through the roof because
Right.
we're all bored.
I'll
we all
watch
wanna see
whatever
something.
right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Basically, it looks like we're just going to find out very soon. I mean, do you want to be that competition that puts an event on, people come to it and then become ill from it? Wouldn't go down very well. However, marble racing, if you haven't been tuning into it, is great. I mean, whew, that stuff gets intense. There's actually a YouTube channel down below where they're doing the Marbula 1 Championships, the Formula 1 Championships. What? What is going on?
Think of race 7 as a sort of moving day here in Marbula 1. Here, oh, this is all going wrong. Nearly everybody is stopped and we've got a red flag. A disaster here at the Razway.
Also, I've just looked this up because, if I'm a big gamer, in my free time when I'm not doing CrossFit, because if I did everything CrossFit all the time, you just get burnt out. I just like to play now Call of Duty Warzone. What a great game. And I like watching people competitively play that game. I just find it fun. I was just looking anyway, the esports industry could be worth as much as 138 billion. But anyway, if the games is cancelled, what happens to the athletes that have already qualified?
I know with your background, you all probably always account for the worst case scenario. If the games are canceled and you have to delay it a year, do you think qualifiers might, and you can speak speculatively, that qualifiers and national champs and things might carry over to next year? Because I think that's an interesting thought that I haven't put in a ton of.
If my suggestion, which doesn't necessarily mean would be the decision, would be start over.
Yeah.
Don't carry over.
Okay.
Restart.
I agree with that. I don't think the
So basically what Dave is saying there is anyone that qualified through the Open this year or through any of the sanctioned events, that slate will be wiped clean and you're going to have to qualify again. Now that would suck for people like Zach, someone who, it would be their first CrossFit Games, super excited, they qualified through the Open and they train all year for it. For a lot of athletes, it's their livelihood. But I can 100% see where Dave's coming from. You may be fit this year, but are you going to be fit enough to qualify next year? It's still a great achievement that you would have qualified for the CrossFit Games. But what about those people that maybe this year have really come up the ranks? would qualify through the Open in front of you, you have to prove yourself again next year to be able to go to the Games. I think that's perfectly fair. Just a couple of other bits of news. The French Throwdown this year has been postponed until 2021. They're cancelling completely, doing a sanctioned event. That's 1 week before the Ashbury Games, which is the 20th of June. That's still the closest live event of CrossFit that has yet to be cancelled. And the Rogue Invitational has moved to an online competition where they'll be offering the same prize money, but they're looking to get athletes in affiliates doing it live as kind of a live all over the world event. That's supposed to be on June the 13th and 14th. Anyway, that's kind of all the news that I have today. You know, my personal opinion, I don't think the Games are going to go ahead, but I haven't heard of anyone if they are or if they aren't. I'm sure we'll know very soon. It also sucks because I love meeting all you guys, and when we go to these places like the Games, we just meet all of you. You just have to see me more on the internet. Didn't want to end this vlog on a downer, so here's a couple of things that I think are freaking awesome that I've seen on the internet this week. One, this kid's golf shot is incredible, and I slowed it down and I was like, this can't be fake. This has to be fake. This has to be fake. And it doesn't look like it's fake, but it still may be fake.
I can't believe I just done that. Yes!
This guy, I thought it was a fail, but he actually nailed it.
Hey.
And if you need home gym equipment, this guy has you sorted. All you need is a wooden stick and some bags of sand on either side. What could go wrong?
Oh.
And yeah, I hope you're all good. As always, smash that like button if you did enjoy today's video, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Also hit that subscribe button, and if you're looking for any home gym equipment, TR5, there's a link down below. If you use it, it supports the channel. To Bulldog gear, everything that I have in my gym. Catch you in the next one.